but the season is almost over. Playoffs are going to start next week. So let's get started with our first game.
All right.
The Steelers are taking on JJ's Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens just clinched the number 1 seed. They have absolutely nothing to play for, no reason to play starters. They probably won't play the starters. I got the Steelers winning.
Tom?
Me?
Yep.
Steelers. I was going to say the Ravens, I'm guessing, aren't going to play barely any of their starters.
Yeah, it looks like let's see here. All right, cool. Yeah, Steelers. The Ravens aren't gonna play anybody. Or not, they're not gonna start anybody. And the Steelers actually have an outside shot at the playoffs. So they will definitely be playing full force. So I'm gonna say Steelers in this one.
I'm going Ravens. I'm
Of
going
course you are.
Ravens to put. I'm going Ravens to put them out for the rest of the season. I do like hearing the fact that I, have the first round bye and home field advantage, but I personally wanted the guys to play. But it's all good. I just think that this Ravens team is so deep that even
I
their
mean,
backups. I just think the Ravens team is so deep that even their backups are going to be able to get some traction. And so I got Ravens winning this one
last
in the
time the
first
Ravens
one.
last time the Ravens had the number 1 seed, they rested their starters. They lost in the divisional round. Something to keep in mind. Next game, we have
Hang on a second. Let me go back up here.
the
Yep.
next game.
Next game is
That's going to be the Indianapolis Colts versus Kansas. Who do you guys got winning this game?
Dom.
Oh, thank you, Bacon Grizz. Appreciate you, man.
Texans.
Why?
Well, because they're the better team. CJ Stroud has responded quite well at concussion. And can the Colts make the? There's got to be some sort of scenario where the Colts can make the playoffs, right?
Um. Yes. Win and at least they're in.
The Colts?
That's the Texans and the Colts both have the
The
same
Colts are not
scenario.
that bad.
It's a win and they're in?
They're not. But yeah,
Uh,
I'm taking Texans because Stroud is better than Minshew.
Okay.
I am. There we go. Of course, I got to go with Houston. Of course, the Houston Texans are better. We lost 31-20 to the Colts earlier this season, but the Houston Texans have been a different team, a much different team since that time period. Now the Colts, they always present a challenge to the Texans, so I never overlook them. Currently, the Texans are a 1.5 point favorite on the road. But yeah, I'm gonna go Texans in this one. I'll say 24-20. Go ahead, JJ.
I'm actually going to go the Colts in this one. I think I'm going to ride with the team that seems to have a little bit more momentum, even though I understand that Houston's got this spreads. I just think Houston's had a good season. It's a good run. I just think right now they're not ready yet. And I think Houston's going to unfortunately lose this game, and then those Indianapolis Colts will win and secure their playoff berth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also picking Indianapolis. I think that when you look at the Colts team, Shane Steichen has done incredible. I think Shane Steichen should be in the conversation for Coach of the Year. He's really turned that team around. The Colts are playing at home. I think the Texans have very rarely won at Indianapolis. So that's a place that they tend to have a lot of problems. So I'm going to pick the Colts.
All right. Looks like it's a split. So next game. And it's gonna be another
Tampa Bay
another
Buccaneers need a win to clinch the NFC South, and they're playing against the Carolina Panthers. Enough said. Tampa Bay Bucks are going to win this game, and they will host a playoff game. So the Bucks win the NFC South.
Dom.
Yeah, Bucks. Come on, the Panthers are awful.
Yeah, I'm going Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield solidifies comeback player of the year, in my opinion. And then the Bucks will draw. They will win these NFC South, and they will draw either the Eagles or the Cowboys, and we will get to that game here in just a bit.
They're
But
playing
yeah,
the Eagles.
they Panthers and possible sports more on this week, but the Panthers owner getting mad and throwing drinks, not a good look. But yeah, give me the Bucks.
He was
Bucks
fined
roll.
$300,000 for that, by the way.
JJ.
Whoa.
I've got how much is he fined? $300,000.
$300,000. But that's chump change
Okay.
for a billionaire. Like I think that's a little low.
1 cent. Good deal. Little write off. Put that into the miscellaneous file that you don't have to worry about. That's that type of money. But
Wait.
anyway, I got the whoever's playing the Panthers, the Bucks.
The Buccaneers.
I'm sorry. At the end of the day, if this was any other NFC South team, I would have probably taken them. But it's the Panthers, and I just think the Panthers are not good. So if I understand correctly, they win, they secure the division. Tampa Bay, you guys are going to win your division, guys. Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right.
I think people are kind of dismissing Baker Mayfield as the comeback player of the year, but he should probably win it. But fortunately, the NFL is treating DeMar Hamlin like he's a Make-A-Wish kid. But go ahead.
I think Joe Flacco has better chances to win than he does.
Then Baker?
I think at this point he is more of a favorite to win than him based off of the odds.
Baker's having a career season this year, so that's just why I kind of feel like he could be in it. But yeah, we'll have to see. Next game, guys. We have the Browns. Speaking of the Browns, taking on the Bengals. Yeah, the Bengals season is over. Their season they had slim hopes when Jake Browning won a couple games, but they're done. And besides, even if Joe Burrow was playing, when does Cincinnati ever beat Cleveland? They never beat them. So the Browns are on fire. They're on a roll going into the playoffs. Browns win.
Dom?
I was just looking to see if I can't tell right off rips. Looking to see if the Browns seed was locked in yet or not. Because if it's not, I'm taking the Browns. If it is, I'll take the Bengals. I'll just take the Bengals, period. How about that?
All right. I'm taking the Bengals because I have a feeling that the Browns will rest their star. I think they are actually locked into the seat that they're in. But yeah, I'll take the Bengals. And you point to the KC game that could have kept them alive. And we'll get to them here in just a minute. But KC won and pulled it off, and the Bengals season is over. But hopefully they can go out with a victory. But I'll take the Bengals in this one just because I think the Browns are locked, and I think they're going to sit their guys, at least half of them. Joe.
Okay. Browns at Bengals. Bengals are eliminated. You know what I mean? Bengals are eliminated. The Browns pretty much are secured in terms of the playoff team. So in that case, neither team has any real advantage to stop the other. You know what I'm saying? So then it comes down to whose team looks better and whose team's playing better, and that is Cleveland off the map. I actually got Cleveland winning this game. I think Flacco, I will say sports betting props, guys. If there's an interception prop for Flacco there, take it. Just saying. But, the Browns will win this game.
Flacco.
I'll be honest with you.
Go ahead.
Let me just say this so you can go ahead. Let me tell you something. Flacco interception props are literally a given. I promise you, anytime you're available, there's so much of a win that now the apps don't even put them on there no more. That's how you know he's going to do it.
I was going to ask that, but if they don't even
might.
put them on there, then why bother?
He might, but he's going to bounce out because he's still going to throw over 300 and something yards and a couple touchdowns.
That's fine when they don't got nothing to do with money, but when you put the bet for him to take the interception, you want him to get that interception, and he gonna get you that interception. Okay, he gonna give it to you. I love Flacco for that. I used to hate him for that, but now I love him for that because I have taken the interception prop the last 4
Be careful
weeks.
what you wish for.
That's perfectly fine.
Be
Yeah.
careful what you wish for.
Scared money don't make money. Winners ain't afraid of anybody. Maybe that's the mentality you have, but the mentality over here means we take anybody, anytime,
Oh,
anywhere, any place,
I'm not
every
saying that
day.
you should be scared of them, but I'm saying if you're talking about how you love them for throwing in interceptions, let's see what happens when you play against them in the playoffs.
You may not
love
play.
it so
We
much.
may not play against
Yeah.
them, and if we play against them, I think we'll beat them. So
And
what's the
lose.
point? Like, I don't really understand
don't
where we're
think
going with this.
I
Of
personally
course
don't.
you don't, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, I can't. I don't know how much I have to regurgitate this. No one on this Ravens team is afraid to play anybody, no matter how great they're playing, how well
They
they're
don't
playing.
have to be.
No,
They
it
don't have to
doesn't.
be.
Let me finish.
I can
Let me
still
finish
think
because
that.
at the
I
end
can
of the
still
day,
think.
you can still think that, but what you have to get out your mind is because I've seen you agree with this on other pages. They're not scared of them. Point blank, period. And if you get that out your head, the better we'll be. There's no Raven player, fan, anybody, anywhere, any place, time, or day that is scared to play anybody. I don't care how good you think you are. We will still take you on regardless because we want to see that we think we're better than everybody. So we want you at your best. So bring on Flacco over here. We want that. But I'm not going to sit here and say that they have a chance that we may not beat them. They have a chance to beat us, but I think we'll beat them. So I just want to make that very clear. You could think they'll beat us, but we want to make one thing very clear. And I didn't do this last week. Ravens aren't afraid to play nobody. Ever. And never ever will be, and never ever will be again.
They
Ever.
shouldn't be. They're the number one seed.
Not even if they're number 1 seed. That's just not what it means to be a Raven player. Literally. It's not what it means to be a Raven. Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis said, we'll go up into New England, beat Tom Brady and his place when nobody gave a crap. And Tom Brady even acknowledged that. He said it doesn't matter who they face. When Baltimore comes to play, they don't care. We don't care who you are. We will still have to line up on the field and play you. Period.
Okay. Next game.
Lions 3-point home favorites.
The Vikings have a very small chance of making the playoffs, but it's probably not going to happen. The Lions are pretty much locked into their seed. They don't really have anything to play for.
I thought they still have a chance for a 2 seed.
I don't
think
think
they did.
I thought if both the Eagles and the Cowboys lose.
The Cowboys are not going to lose to the Commanders. That's not happening.
True. I mean, but
That's not happening. So they're pretty much the 3 seed. So I got the Vikings, I guess.
Dom? Can you hear
Interesting
me?
scenario here. Can you not hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I love you, Dom. I love Dom. So
Oh, because Dan Campbell came out and said he wants to win this game, but he's kind of on the fence as far as the starters and guys that might be injured or banged up. So,
Are we finally going to see
I
a
mean,
hooker
I
in
said
Detroit?
it when I saw it. I don't think he's going to play, but I'm sticking to my story when I saw the schedule based on if all things go right. Because if you recall, I did say there's a chance we lose to the Vikings week 18 because we already have our playoff spot locked up and we don't play our starters. So that's probably what happens.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Vikings in a close one, low scoring.
I'll take the Vikings in this one. The Lions are locked in where they're at and they have nothing left to play for. But yeah, I'll make this quick. Just Vikings, and then hopefully they go to the locker room and start answering some questions and finding out what they want to do as far as their future at quarterback. If they want to bring back Cousins, if they want to move on, But as far as this game goes, I'll take the Vikings. Lions won a division. They're like where they're at. They host the 6th seed, whoever the 6th seed is going to be. JJ?
But
The
that's
Rams.
the thing. That's the thing. I wish like I said, because I think they still have something to play for. I really do. Whether those teams are not going to win or not, I think that's something that is still something to be mentioned is that they do have something to still play for. You know, that home field advantage or the first round bye. I mean, that home the two seed does matter to some play. Now, at the end of the day, I still think if you want to sit there and take that out, I wish I knew what time this game was. If it's at 1 or 4, because that'll
It's a one.
determine. Okay, if it's at 1 o'clock, it's going to be like they're going to be watching. They're going to be watching the other. Somebody on that team is going to be watching the scores of the Eagles game and the Cowboys game because you just don't know. But I think with that alone, it's going to allow them to at least be a little bit better and not just lay down and let Minnesota take this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota takes this game, but I
Well,
think having that 12th win is going to be big for Detroit, and I think they're going to win this game.
All right. Well, our next game. All right.
Oh God.
I love
Patriots,
Donald's reactions to this. I love it.
the Patriots are going to win.
What you
He,
gonna do with
this could be Belichick's last game with New England, whether he goes to another team, whether he retires. And he's not going to go out sad. He's certainly not going to go out losing to the Jets. Patriots own the Jets, and that's it.
Dom.
I concur. Like I don't have anything that needs to be added after what James said.
Okay.
Yeah. Patriots. You know, not saying the Jets should roll over, but like James said, the Patriots own the Jets, and they're going to be extra motivated because, this in all likelihood is Belichick's final game, with the New England Patriots, and so they want to go out with a bang, and so yeah, Patriots win and they blow the Jets out. Matter of fact. All right, who you got, JJ?
very interesting game. Very interesting game. I have to go with the Patriots just because I think honestly, I'm one of the few people that does not know if this is Bill Belichick's last year. Believe it when I see it. Call me crazy, but that's where I am. With that said, I think they're going to go out on top because there are still instances throughout the year where Bill Belichick can still get a guy and take his best weapon away and make him struggle. I got the Patriots win this game.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. Next game. Falcons at Saints. Saints are a 3-point home favorite.
I'm going to take New Orleans in this one.
Why couldn't one of them play the Bucks?
I'm taking Saints. The Falcons. I know Tyler Heineke won with a game or two, but healthy Derek Carr. Yeah, I got the Saints in this one. The Falcons got too many questions, and it's unknown if Arthur Smith will even be back. But yeah, Saints and the Saints stay alive, and they need somehow for the Panthers to beat the Bucks. But y'all take the Saints. Dom, who you got?
Saints, simply because all the Falcons have to do is win the game to win the division, and because they're the Falcons, they won't. Plus, like, who's going to start at quarterback? Because I went back and looked, and they've flip flopped almost the same number of weeks as flipping back and forth between the quarterbacks. It doesn't matter though. Saints.
JJ?
This NFC South division is so crazy that this game is meaningful because as much as the Panthers look like an overwhelming underdog, Tampa Bay could wet the bed and they lose this game. Then this game becomes that much more meaningful, which means these teams still have something to play for. What's up, Cowboy X Factor? Shout out to you first off, but I'm actually going to go with the Falcons. I don't know. I don't have any trust in Derek Carr anymore. I just don't. I just do not like what I'm seeing from him. And I think the last time these two teams played, Atlanta got the win. I could be wrong, but maybe I could fact check this. But I think that Atlanta's defense looks pretty decent. It's just whichever quarterback plays who makes the least amount of mistakes
Hmm.
gives them a chance to win.
True.
Because I think they can win because the Saints' run defense isn't that great, and Bijan did have some traction against them last game. So I think with that, just keeping your quarterback, managing the game, getting those first downs when you need it, keeping this game short, condensing the field. I got the Falcons win this game.
Okay. All right. And our next game.
Saints won the first game 24-15.
Jags need a win as against the Titans to secure the AFC South title. The Jags have been playing terrible. They really have. They've had injuries. They've had all sorts of issues. They've been playing like crap. And Mike Vrabel is not a soft coach that's just going to go out here and like mail it in. So I actually think the Titans are going to win this game.
So my pick for this game is actually dependent upon what happens on Saturday night. If the Colts win that game, yeah, it won't matter much. But if we win, if the Texans win, I'm going to be pulling for the Titans. So I'm going to go on a notion if the Texans win, and I'm going to pull for the Tennessee Titans. And they pull out a stunner at home over the Jags in a much-needed win. I agree. Vrabel's not just going to roll over. He did say that he wanted to play spoiler as much as he could. He may not have done it against us, but he has his chance against Jacksonville. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Titans. Hopefully, Will Levis is well enough to play. Outside of that, they got Tannehill and King Henry. He better bring it. Dom, who you got?
Titans, regardless of what happens on Saturday. The Jags are in a tailspin. Trevor Lawrence has not looked right for most of the season. Even if they do win, they're moonwalking into the playoffs. They're one in five their last six, and the only reason they have a win anywhere in there, which was just last week, is because they played the god awful Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy because we pretty much all figured before the season started that the Jags were going to run away with this division, and at one point, just maybe a month and a half ago, they were in play for a high seed. So they go all the way from in play for a high seed to missing the playoffs. I got the Titans. Close one, low scoring.
JJ?
Okay.
The Jaguars are the better team, but correct me if I'm wrong, Trevor Lawrence isn't playing. And it's a big difference with him not playing. And I have to say, the Jacksonville Jaguars, life came at them fast. They came in hot. Team from last year competed against Kansas City, almost took them down. Then, like Dom just said, looking like they were great, they were going to coast to winning this division. But here comes Houston, here comes Indianapolis, and here we are at the end of the season, back where they were, I believe, last year, needing to win, or in that last couple of weeks, needing to win to secure their division. I think the Titans are going nowhere fast. I think that they're auditioning for next year. And I think that this means more to Jacksonville because they need to win this to get into the playoffs. And I think with that said, that's going to be enough for them to get these Tennessee Titans. I will not take that spread.
Oh, why not?
Because I think this game is still going to be close because, as I stated earlier, if you're dealing with C.J. Beathard, I just think that's just going to be enough of a difference to neutralize the playing field against whether it's Ryan Tannehill or Will Levis, which more likely think Ryan Tannehill.
Trevor Lawrence was a participant in Jags practice today. So I think that's a potential sign that he's going to be pushing to play this game.
Very well. It's just, I think that they need this game. Tennessee
Okay.
doesn't need this game. They ain't playing for nothing.
No, but that's just the culture that Mike Vrabel is as a coach. He's not going into this game with the mentality like, "Oh, we don't have anything to play for, so we might as well just give Jacksonville the win." They're going to give everything they have to win this game because that's
I don't
who
think
that's who Vrabel is as a coach and a leader. So that's why I would retort that.
I just don't think they have that much.
Okay. What's our next game?
All right. Hawks 2.5 at Cardinals.
Are the Seahawks eliminated or are they still in the playoff contention?
They're eliminated. This is just a game for fun.
I don't even care.
Possible evaluation time for the Cardinals, but they're just bad. I'm going to take the Seahawks. Not much to talk about on this one. Dom?
I'm actually going to take the Cardinals. Don't ask me why. Like you would figure in a fight, a Seahawk would take a Cardinal, but I mean the Cardinals have won multiple games this year. I'm pretty sure every game that they've won, they shouldn't have, based upon who they were playing. I mean, what do the Cardinals have? 4 wins, 5?
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at least 2 of those were against very good teams. So yeah, I'll take the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm. James?
I'm going to take the Cardinals too. I mean, if the Cardinals can beat the Eagles, they can beat the Seahawks, and they're at home.
All right. Where'd JJ go?
I'm right here.
The Seattle
Eagles-
Seahawks are not eliminated.
Yeah, I see a correction on last. Yeah, they need a win and a Packers loss. All right. Okay.
Gonna go with Seattle Seahawks over here. You still in the game. And James, I'm only asking just for context. They did beat you guys, right?
Yeah.
So both teams have the ability to show that they can play against good teams and win. I think now it comes down to which team is, in my opinion, in a better position to compete. Seattle. Poor Arizona. It is the Sun Devil State, and I have lived there in my life. But poor man, they are going through it. It's going to be a long off season. It is, but I think Seattle's going to win this one.
All right.
I am going to take that spread too. I'm going to take that spread.
Not surprised. This is a good spread, actually. All right. Packers 3-point home fave. Sound about right? Yeah. That three sounds pretty good. We all got.
I want to take lead on this one. The Bears. They're such an interesting team. They are a team that has a lot of holes.
Yep.
They're a team that has a lot of holes on them. But they are also a team that when they put it together could be potentially very good. They're like literally on the cusp of being a team that's learning how to compete. You know those teams that are trash, but also not so trash because when you play them, if you sleep on them, they could get over on you. That's how I feel about the Bears. And now the Packers coming in, I think the Packers have full belief in Jordan Love. They believe in this offense. They believe in his connections with the receivers. Now, if they get Musgrave back, and how Reed is doing, and Dontavia Wicks is going to be a big deal. I like the Packers. I do, but I think the Bears got it. I think the Bears have it. I think that Justin Fields is going to play. He has something to prove. They still have questions about him, and I think the Bears, they have talent, and I think they're going to win this game.
Okay.
All right. So scenarios are as follows. Packers will be the 7th seed if they win and the Rams beat the Niners. They'll be the 6th seed if they beat the Bears and the Niners beat the Rams. So pretty much, for the most part,
But if they lose, Seattle's going to get in it.
if they do, Seattle's will be in. Yep, the Packers are 7th seed. They will face the Cowboys, Eagles, or Lions in a wild card round. If they're a 6th seed, they'll face the Cowboys, Lions in a wild card round. Eagles have no path to number 3, and they'll be the 2 or the 5 seed. Okay, so it's sounding like a win and you're in type of deal as far as Green Bay. So they've got a lot to lose in this one. Now the Bears, they of course could march in there and play spoiler, but I like the Pack in this one. This will be Jordan Love's. I mean, outside of that Thanksgiving Day game, you're putting them in a pseudo winning your in type deal, and this could help solidify him as a quarterback of the future, being put in these type of situations. In my opinion, give me the Packers. I think the Bears actually kind of make it close. I'm going to say 27-20 Pack.
I'm going to pick the Chicago Bears. And as far as Jordan Love, I think he's already proven that he's a Packers quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
He's had a really good season. He's had some really good moments this year. Him making the playoffs doesn't really do anything for me. It would just be icing on the cake. I think Justin Fields is the one that has more to prove in this game because the Bears are going to have the first pick in the draft. Everyone's saying to draft Caleb Williams, but his teammates DJ Morris come out publicly and defended him and say, no, like Justin Fields is him. Justin Fields is our guy. This is who we want to be the quarterback of the Chicago Bears. And I think Justin Fields wants to prove that as well. So I think Justin Fields is going to go out there and have one of his best games, and the Bears are going to win.
Dom?
Yes, NFC North guy. Break it down.
Dom, did you pick?
Do you even care?
I've got the Bears as well. Mainly because for all those comparisons that the dopey Bears fans tried to make between their team this year and our team from 2 years ago, coming into last year, they're like, oh, we're going to go from 3 wins to 9, just like the Lions did. Well, they didn't do that. They can get to what? 8 and 9 if they win this game. But I think
still better than
the
three.
one thing the
Close
Bears
enough.
want to be and can
Close
be
enough.
this year. Right. I think the one thing the Bears can be and will be this year is the division rival. Well, a team in the division that beats the Packers and keeps them out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Chicago's GM is fooled and hangs on to Fields at least for one more year.
So Jay's lone wolf in the Packers.
Yep. All right,
Next game.
Next game.
The next game is the Chiefs against the LA Chargers. Chiefs, they got to win this game. I don't really think it does too much for them with the seeding. But they're
They need
playing
to
the
win
Chargers.
to
Chargers aren't going to do anything. Chiefs win.
I think they need to win to keep a potential playoff spot available for themselves.
Well, I
I
don't
think
think
they're
they. I don't
locked in
think
the
they.
3 seed.
They
Oh, they
can't
won the
lose.
3.
They've already clinched the division, I think.
They
Oh.
did. They
Oh.
clinched the West just last week, but I don't think they can move up or down.
Mm.
And that 3-point home, even though Easton Stick is quarterback for the Chargers, that 3-point home favorite tells me that the Chiefs are going to rest their guys. But go ahead, JJ.
They probably will.
Chiefs. Nothing else to be said. Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs in this one. Shane Buechele will probably start at quarterback for the Chiefs. I remember him at Texas. But yeah, the Chargers are just bad. They just need to just turn the season upside down, like what has already been done, and go out and try to find them a new coach. They're going to be spending the better part of the summer trying to wash the stench of Brandon Staley away, and I'm pretty sure we'll talk some offseason talk about that. But yeah, even with the Chiefs resting their starters, give me the Chiefs.
Next game.
Wait, Dom hasn't made his pick.
Dom, are the Chargers going to Charger?
Charger going Charger.
In a rare moment, maybe for almost the first time all season, Chargers will not Charger, but for no good reason, and win this game.
You're lone wolfing on the Chargers.
That's funny. That's funny.
I have no comment.
The sun shines on a dog's ass
Twice a
sometimes.
day.
That's funny though.
Leave it to
That's very
Dom
funny.
to do the next game,
And he
man.
said the Chargers not going Charger. He renounced the battle
Who would
cry.
who would have thought?
Yeah.
The Broncos versus the Raiders. I have the Raiders winning this game, and I know we talked about the Russell Wilson thing on the show last week, but Sean Payton is over here trying to he's trying to prove a point. He's trying to he's trying to flex on Russell Wilson, and they really disrespected him. I think it's going to backfire. I think it's going to be karma, and I think the Raiders are going to kick their ass.
You know, it's funny because there's a movie that was about Sean Payton, but it was played by, I think, homeboy from the sitcom.
What's his name? Kevin
James or something like
Yeah,
that.
Kevin James. That's who it is.
Oh, King of Queens guy.
And the theme of this movie was Kevin James was too prideful to sit there and recognize that he needs some help from other people, so he started doing simple things until the end where his kid had to tell him, yo, you're not who you thought you were, and it kind of snapped him in the back. But it was based off of Sean Payton. And then seeing how this stuff is played out now, it's like, okay, there's some truth to that because you're very stubborn and you're not one to sit there and say, you know what? I need to look at a different approach. I'm going to sit there and bench this quarterback because this is my team and how I'm going to run it. And this is what was going to happen from here. You were a team that had a promising future a couple weeks ago for possibly making it to a playoff seed, and now you're not even in the playoffs anymore. It's very interesting with this game. With that said, I got the Raiders winning this game because I think that the Raiders believe in Antonio Pierce. They want him to be the coach. They're going to try to come out on top for him. Got Raiders on this one. I will touch that cover, too. I will touch that.
What, the 2.5?
I would get that by a field goal, by 3 points.
The bounty hunter.
3 points.
I'll make it quick. The Raiders. They're playing hard for Antonio Pierce. I think he deserves the job. This will solidify it. The Broncos had a wavy season. They started off here, and they went up, had a little winning streak, and then just went down, and they have just crashed. And so there's going to be plenty of questions going on to the offseason. But, yeah, give me the Raiders in this one. I'm going to say Raiders 30-20. Dom?
I'll take the Raiders as well, just so Antonio Pierce can have another victory feather in his cap for the Raiders to ultimately not hire him. I don't know why so many people, including a couple of y'all, actually think that they're going to give him that job. That's not what they do.
They would be very.
Why would you hire
a
a guy that Gal?
It would be extremely dumb if the Raiders did not give him the job.
Exactly, and that's why they won't, because Raiders.
So you're saying the Raiders going to Raider?
But you didn't have the Chargers.
They rallied around the last guy who was the head coach.
Okay, well that's fair enough.
Right.
Raiders being the Raiders. Well, actually, no. The Chargers tradition is longer standing, but it makes so much more sense for the Raiders to win, to go out with a win.
The Raiders did have a period of
we're not going to hire you
at one point, so they did have that, even though it was a long time ago. Chargers never had that. Anyway, what's the next game?
Y'all be nice. I know he's not, though. I know y'all ain't. The Eagles cannot lose this game. Hear me out. They had one of the easiest finishes in the NFL, starting with the Seahawks, and then something happened. Listen, the Commanders. Let's just hope that, because every now and again the Commanders can steal one from Dallas. Let's just hope that this is one of them years. But you have got to take care of business in Jersey.
Well, they're going to be scoreboard watching. If the Cowboys are winning at halftime, they're going to pull all the starters. That's what's going to happen. And I think that is what's going to happen. I think that the result of this game doesn't really matter, because the only way that we're going to benefit from it is if the Cowboys lose. So if we would have just beat the Cardinals, then that would have made things much different. But even all that aside, the team has been playing terrible, and this entire season has been a waste of time. It's been a complete waste of time. We have so much talent, and we're playing so much far below how we should be. So at this point, I don't even have any confidence that we can beat anybody. I don't have confidence that we can win this game, and I don't have confidence we can beat Tampa. I don't. I think the Eagles are one and done, and that's it.
Dom?
That.
Yeah, same. They'll win this game, but they're losing in Tampa round one. Like this is the definite because the Lions did this a few years back. You don't want to moonwalk into the playoffs, and that's what the Eagles are doing.
JJ?
Man, how much have we have progressed? It's crazy. A couple weeks ago, Eagles riding high, feeling great. And I'm shout out Joy Taylor with my, mannerisms because she kind of does this a little bit. I still believe in the Eagles. You should beat the Giants. You beat them last time. You still have something to play for this division. Go out there and be the team that you said you're going to be. Beat this team. Get yourself locked into your seeding, whether it be division or wild card, but show people that you're not somebody that's going to be laying down and walking over. You have so much pride when you're winning. You have so much pride when you was out there busting it down on people, saying that this is this, y'all got this and this. Where that pride now? Y'all looking out losing bad games. Bring that back. Don't give it to me when you're going great. Give it to me when you're not doing great. Because that's the true belief of a winner. No matter how bad it's against you, you believe that next game you're gonna win. And I think if you believe that you're the team that you're gonna be, you're gonna go out there and beat this Giants team. So give me the Eagles in this one. Because if they're the team that think they are, they're gonna win this game.
All right.
I hope
Well,
so.
next game.
The Rams at the 49ers. The 49ers already clinched number one seed. The Rams, I don't know. I think the Rams are going to be scoreboard watching. It depends. It depends on who they want to play. Do they want to end up playing Dallas or the Lions? I think they would rather play the Lions. So depending on how the Cowboys game goes, that's what's going to happen. So I got the Rams winning this one.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams. I think the Niners are locked at number one. They won their division. They're gonna rest their guys. I'll take the Rams in this one also. Dom?
Who's the Niners' backup?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Hey Darnold.
Okay, so Sam Darnold versus Carson Wentz.
I forgot Wentz was starting this game.
That's tough.
I might watch this game just to see that.
I guess I will take the Rams. I guess I will take the Rams. I mean the Rams can't move up. The Niners already clinched their spot. It's one of those
up,
week 18 games that doesn't mean anything.
They can't move up, but they can go from 6 to 7.
JJ, read Bacon's comment. Come on, man.
Tyrod, former Raven.
Although
I'm gonna go the under.
Although no, shit, I
go
did
the
see a
under on
comment.
this.
I did see a comment. I think it was after the Seahawks loss in Bleacher Report, and it was an Eagles fan, and he said, "I'm going to act like James Bradbury and stop defending this team." And I was like, "Wow."
Top two duo. Oh my gosh, Eagles fans, good gracious, calm down.
Thank you,
Rome is
y'all, too.
burning. I would think the sky is falling. Good gracious. Not a fire sale from Die Hard, guys. Relax.
I mean, if I ever send you a picture of Brian Johnson, just know that you're not gonna like the call. You're not gonna like it when I call. You're not gonna like the plays that I call. So don't answer the phone.
Oh Lord. But in terms of that, what's the game?
Oh, my bad. Rams Niners. Who you got, man?
I think the Rams are a bad matchup for the Lions or the Cowboys because both teams have shown to be susceptible to something that they do very well. And when it comes to the playoffs, if you can do this, you have a better chance of winning those playoff games. That's running the football. So I think either team that they particularly draw, that's going to be a team that they're going to have to be ready for because they haven't a chance to expose what's been a weakness in this team all year long.
Here's the
In
difference:
this game,
the
I
Cowboys
think
are
the Rams get.
unbeatable at home, so I think they would have a better chance to beat the Lions.
Of course they do, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and think if you can run the football, if you can run the football and eliminate possessions, condense the clock. Because remember, condensing the clock and running the time when it's a do or die situation is a heck of a lot more anxiety, a lot more pressure on you when you know you got another game to play compared to what you would do in the regular season. You better tighten it up. You better tighten it up.
And one last thing about this subject, because I know we're going to talk about it on the show, but even if you outplay the Cowboys in their stadium like the Lions did, you're still going to lose because the refs are going to do something and screw you because it's Cowboys. So that's what I would say to that. But anyway,
I'd say if you leave it to the rest, then I still like my chances of going over.
well, you saw what happened with the Lions. We'll talk about it later. But what's the next game?
Speaking of
I
the
think
Cowboys.
Cowboys. The Eagles have
Oh,
screwed themselves from getting the division, and the Commanders are in a position to where they could, if they lose, they can get the second pick in the draft. The Commanders are not going to ruin their draft position to help the Eagles. It's not going to happen. So the Commanders are going to get their ass kicked, and the Cowboys are going to win the division.
JJ, you like that line, man?
Heck no. Never have. You know me. 13 points? Oh, man. We're talking about a team that kind of goes based off of what's at stake. If there's a reason to be complacent, they're going to be complacent. If there's no reason to be complacent, they're not going to be complacent. I'm taking Commanders to cover, but Dallas wins.
Mm, yeah. Until further notice, Cowboys win.
You,
Uh,
un, until further notice.
yeah. I mean, Jacoby Brissett could always come in and,
You guys know my friends Siraka Watermelon are very.
yeah, very well acquainted. I see. Um, yeah, Jacoby Brissett could very well come in there and play spoiler of some sort, like he kind of almost did against the Jets. But nah, the Cowboys are motivated. They're number one in the East right now, and so until further notice, I got the Cowboys. Dom, who you got?
Cowboys, but I thought maybe that was just last week. Sam Howell started last week, didn't he?
He
I think
did.
Brissett was just hurt. It doesn't matter. The Cowboys are winning either way.
All right. So consistent Cowboys. All right, and last game. Quite possibly game of the day.
Oh yeah, this is going to be the most important game of the day. The winner of this game is going to win the division. The
Most
Bills
important.
have come a long way. They really have. And the Dolphins, I don't feel good about them. They got their ass kicked by the Ravens. The Ravens put up 56 on them. Their only real win against a team with a quote unquote winning record was against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are 3-5 on the road. So is that really that impressive? It's not. The Miami Dolphins are not an impressive team, and I don't see them going that far in the playoffs. The Bills are more physical. The Bills are just better, and I got the Bills winning.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills also. Um, the Bills stumbled a little bit this season, and at some point in time, there's been some takes saying that they wouldn't even make the postseason.
Yep.
But ever since then, they have woken up and drank some Folgers, maybe with a little rum mixed in it. Who knows? But they're going to remind Miami of why they are still the king of this division. Bills, they won't roll. I got it in a close one. I got it closer than the last meeting, but I'm going to say 34-31 Buffalo. Dom, who you got?
Who you got?
Buffalo. The Dolphins can't beat anyone that's even remotely good. The Bills are hot right now. Miami wasn't going anywhere in the playoffs no matter what, and now they've lost their. I forgot Jalen Phillips got hurt weeks ago, so they have now lost their first and second best pass rusher. Is just this year's Cowboys, but they're doing the exact same thing. One done.
Interesting. This was about the Bills and the Chargers. I mean, Bills and Dolphins, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm assuming.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let me put that
Woo.
graphic back up.
It's interesting, and I'm only saying this just because of what I've observed in the last couple of weeks. We really are in a society that reacts to your most recent performance, the most recent couple of weeks of performance. Because in just 2 weeks, teams that people were very high on, very much in tune with thinking that they were going to make a run, came across one team and got destroyed by them, and now those very teams are having possible questions coming into the playoffs. I still think that, for example, the Dolphins are going to be okay. I think what has fact we have to I have to remember, and I say this all the time, the 49ers and the Dolphins are going to be okay. They just came across a team that they now realize is just as good and just as talented as them. So that game against Baltimore is not going to be enough for me to sit there and think that they can't win this division. I do think they need to hit them where they hurt. You can't just depend on Tyreek Hill if you're going to try to make it out this game against the Buffalo Bills, because the one thing the Buffalo Bills does well is protect that deep ball. If Jalen Waddle plays, which I don't know, I thought he's that's uncertain, but if he plays, his ability to work that intermediate route and use, Durham Smite and, Raheem Mostert all up around there in that middle intermediate game, it gives him a chance to beat the Buffalo Bills. But it is interesting to see where we are about teams that really are good. They just happen to come across teams that are just as good as them and got their butt whipped. But don't mean they're not good enough to sit there and still beat the team that they're playing against. And in this case, it's the Buffalo Bills.
Fair enough.
Because the Buffalo Bills, unfortunately, I thought after Dallas, they would use that to dominate a Chargers team who doesn't really good against the run, and they went back to Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things. So I really don't know which Buffalo team I'm going to get.
But you can pick. But you got Dolphins in this one.
Say that again?
Let's say you got Dolphins in this one.
I do. I
Okay.
do.
Okay. Need lone wolfing on the Dolphins. All right.
That concludes week 18, last regular season week of Picked Off. Next time we
Timeout.
meet, we'll be in the playoffs. Thank you guys for tuning in.
I think I want to say, as we're rounding up the season, and this is kind of a gauntlet tie-in to the pick-off, how are we in terms of our team's predictions for their record? Because I think I was pretty much accurate with mine.
We have to do a recount sometime over the weekend and just turn in the
Hey,
number.
to be honest with you, I don't really care about my prediction. I will see you guys on Friday for the next
I love you,
episode.
James.
On the next episode of the Gauntlet. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Bye, you guys. Bye, you guys.